Hello, my name is Roger Phillips. As many of you, my journey to Christ started before I was born. My mother, Beatrice Lois Wenzel, attended the Evangelical United Brethren Church in Elgin, Illinois. My father, William Charles Phillips, attended the Evangelical United Brethren Church in Aurora, Illinois. During an interchurch youth activity, they met and eventually married. Until I went to college, I attended the EUB church in Aurora. My mother played the trumpet in high school. My father played the trombone in high school, and he sang in the church choir. My grandma Phillips had a pump organ, and I remember her playing for us and letting us attempt to play it too until the bellows stopped working. As I remember, my mother would load up the hi-fi spindle with LP records, Andy Williams, Perry Como, Whistle While You Work, and when those were done, flip the stack over and start it all over again. We had an upright player piano, and of course piano lessons when I was 5 years old. As I remember, my sister could play the lesson piece in one day. Me, I took almost till the next lesson. I had to sort of memorize it with muscle memory. Terry, my sister, says she just played the piece, but that I played with emotion. Since I don't remember much about 5 to 7 years old, I'd take her word for it. My Uncle Glenn played the accordion and taught himself to play an organ, probably a Hammond organ. He would play background music while the rest of us were eating at church functions. Of course, there was a youth choir, and of course, I was in it. I do remember then I could sing soprano. My first real introduction to singing parts was in grade school. For some school program, we were seated on risers in front of the stage in 4 rows. Each row was assigned a part. My row was alto. I have always remembered that it seemed to be just a bunch of note-to-note intervals with no attempt at any melody. I appreciate Eunice and the rest of the altos and tenors for the way they can read the music and fill in the singing chords. The soprano and bass parts seem much easier to me. Got to college, my roommate had a guitar, so of course I messed around with it when he wasn't around, with his permission. After college, as with many young people, didn't attend church very regularly. Got married, had children, and shortly after they were born, we moved to Colorado, 1981. The company division I worked in closed, and I came to work for what had been a competitor. Emily and I decided it was time to get our children into Sunday school, to learn about God with other children, so they didn't think it was just something we believed. We visited several churches in the Broomfield, Westminster area. I told Emily none really struck me. She, being brought up Episcopalian, and that Holy Comfort at that time wasn't real big and seemed comfortable to her, decided we would attend here. As most of you know, Tom McGlaris never met anyone he wouldn't talk to. We were in a coffee line one Sunday morning, and Tom, just ahead of Emily, of course turned and talked with her. Somehow he mentioned that Eunice was in the choir. Emily told him, "Roger likes to sing." Somehow I've been in the choir ever since. Hopefully, all of you are thankful for Tom and Eunice for recruiting me into the choir. What does this have to do with stewardship? A broad concept of stewardship is illustrated in Jesus' parable of the talents, which refer to an amount of money, but by implication and by common use of the word in English, as abilities. God gave me the ability to sing. Looking back on my life, I see that He showed me through my immediate family, extended family, and church family that singing is a way I can show and share His glory. It is thus easy to see how I became part of the music ministry here at Holy Comforter. We all have varied talents. For some of us, it seems a no-brainer what talent we have and how God wants us to share it. For others, it seems harder to determine. Prayer, discussion with others, the boardroom at Glarus Hall showing opportunities are all ways to determine what your talent is and how to share your talent. There is also the other talent and the easiest to measure, which is giving monetarily. I pray that if you are looking for a way to share your God-given talents, that you will pray and God will show you your way.